Hey, what's up, Market Moose? Mike for the Moose on the loose. I hope you're doing well on this Monday. Today we're going to talk about something very important. How can amazing stock trading above $5,000 goes down to 3,500 bucks? Kind of crazy. More than 25% drop in a couple of months only. Yes, I am talking about Constellation Software, big debacle, and what's happening there, what you should do. This is what we're going to cover today. There are actually two big narrative that happen a couple of days apart. That's kind of crazy. Completely different narratives, but they just happened the same week. That kind of killed the stock big time. And you probably don't know what to do right now. And a lot of investors are making this big mistake as focusing on short-term price fluctuation to assess the quality of a stock or an investment. And it's not about that. And this is what we're going to take a look at. Actually, kind of funny. Did you know that Constellation Software is still up by more than 150% over the past 5 years after this crazy drop? Yes. So putting things in perspective, and I'm not saying it's a good or a bad stock because it did perform well, but just to show you how just playing around with dates will give you different answers when you look at just stock total returns. But there's more to it, and it's a lot more important to understand where you're coming from. So first, before we talk about those narratives, it's important to understand what's the business model, right? If not, it's completely useless to look at a stock price fluctuation. So Constellation Software, first, it's a serial acquirer in the technology business. So what they do is they keep acquiring small companies that are, we're calling that vertical market software. So those are companies making niche software, very specialized, like how to handle inventory for a mechanic, for example, or how to handle scheduling and clients, a customer relationship for a dental clinic. So incredibly specific software that answers all the needs of those business owners. So it gives a lot of pricing powers. It is like very sticky business. So there's a big plus to acquire those businesses. And on top of that, what is great about Constellation Software is since they target smaller deals than venture capitalist firms, they just grab everything under the radar. So it's like a big whale just scraping the bottom of the ocean and just eating everything that is in there. Some of the good, some of the bad, but they're doing an amazing job. They have built this playbook, and this is the reason why they're called Constellation, right? You look at them and they have like hundreds of companies across their different verticals. And this is how they make the most of their money. So now we understand how it works. They use all their capital to buy small deals. The goal is to buy those companies, improve the business because they have this expertise, and generate more cash flow. That they take that cash flow and then the flywheel keeps on spinning even faster and faster, and they reinvest that cash flow forever. They have very little amount of debt compared to their their market capitalization, and they are growing at a crazy rate, which also led to a lot of PE expansion and a great stock history. So now that's the business model here. Before we jump to the two narratives, if you want to know more about dividend stocks, I invite you to subscribe to my free newsletter, the Dividend Guys newsletter, at moosemarkets.com/newsletter. So moosemarkets.com/newsletter. You subscribe there and you get all my best stuff for free. All right, so narrative number one, why the stock went down. And this one has been around for a while, but recently the company has held a call to discuss the impact of artificial intelligence on their business. So the rise of AI put a lot of investors concerned about how it will act. Is it going to be a tailwind or a headwind? Because it could be quite challenges, right? So here's the thing. A lot of investors think, well, AI is able to code like there's no tomorrow. So why, if I have a dental clinic, I would pay a software company that is held by Constellation Software to run a customer relation management software or any other piece of software where I can code my own because I know my business, I know my needs, and then boom, I will do that. So thinking about this, that if it happens, that is going to seriously challenge Constellation Software business model. Because I just told you, vertical market software are all about pricing power and sticky business. So you put AI there and then boom, there's no more sticky business and there's no more pricing power, right? You have to compete with something that is free. Kind of tough, right? So here's the thing about that narrative though. Are we there yet? Definitely not. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about why I don't think we're there yet. First, as you know, I run my membership website, Dividend Stocks Rock, and every year I put between $50,000 to $75,000 in improvement on my website. So we add new features, we improve the websites on all kind of ways, we listen to our members. It's a great place to be. So I was talking with my web development team, and I asked them, like, it's a firm in Montreal, and I'm like, so are you getting hurt by AI at this point? And the owner of the business said, actually, it's the opposite. So people start using AI to start coding and do some stuff, and then they realize that it requires a lot more knowledge and one thing that AI is really bad at is to debug something. So great to write codes, not so great to debug some things. And you know, in code, there's always bug to debug, so to be debugged. So there you go. So it's actually a catalyst. It improves the level of business that I'm doing right now because clients are going after me and say, hey, I need you to help me build more stuff because AI cannot do that. Another one, I was listening to that podcast, the Nathan Barry Show. And Nathan Barry, he is the founder of Kit, which is a email marketing system where they email provider, sorry, and they generate above $40 million a year. And he explained that you cannot really code a complete app or complete software with AI if you do not have the knowledge. So you'll have to hire a developer anyway to take care of a lot of aspects. So AI is very powerful, but it's only powerful in the end of someone who knows how to do the work. Same thing with DSR. You could ask a ChatGPT to run an analysis of any stock. You're going to get something interesting, but it's not going to be as great as if someone with a financial background starts prompting and improving those prompts to make something even better. So in that regard, I think that AI could be a tailwind for Constellation Software as long as they start using it to improve their service. So there's still a big of the challenge here, but I think there is an opportunity to seize, and it's up to them to do that. The second narrative, the second reason why, and that was like the major blow already, you have concern, and then boom, you have the big news. Mark Leonard, the CEO, the genius behind Constellation Software, resigned for health issues. So probably not going to come back, right? And that's bad because you're thinking about the founder, you're thinking about the person who wrote the playbook, you're thinking about this man that has built this gigantic company, and then he's gone. Not gone, but he's not going to be in the daily operation anyway. Let me ask you, is it the end of Berkshire Hathaway as unfortunately Charlie Munger passed away last year and Warren Buffett not going to be around forever? Was it the end when Bill Gates left Microsoft, or when Tim Cook took over Apple after Steve Jobs passed away? Not at all, right? So yes, you have, and of course I'm cherry picking those great examples. I could have cherry picked examples where the CEO left and then the company fell apart. But here's the thing. I go back to the business model at the beginning of this show. Constellation Software, they have playbooks. They have empowered hundreds of employees to make those acquisitions because they're making hundreds of acquisitions per year. They're deploying between 1.5 to $2 billion in small acquisition every year. So they are able to run the playbooks without someone. And I don't tell me that Mark was actually overlooking all those deals. It's physically impossible. Or maybe this is the reason why he has to resign, right? But jokes aside, the business is able to run by itself because there are playbooks and like many employees are able to run them. And the guy that is stepping up has been with the company, I think, for 30 years. So it's not like they don't know what they're doing there and the management team. They had a plan already in place and they know how to go forward. So in conclusion, personally, I'm going to keep my shares. I won't care that much. And I'm just going to continue to write it. Again, if you wonder what to do with your shares, the best advice I can give you is to go back to your investment thesis, look at the numbers, review why you added Constellation Software to your portfolio in the first place, and then you'll be able to know if those reasons are still there or not. If you bought it for the CEO, maybe you want to get out. I don't know, but that depends on what you believe in and what's this part of your investment process. So again, not financial advice. Unfortunately, cannot tell you what to do. Again, you can mimic my ideas, but you cannot mimic my conviction. So right, moves, that's enough for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about how you can create that investor confidence flywheel. There are ways you can get rid of hesitation when you're about to make a trade, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Until then, don't forget to stay invested.